So I think that growing up, a lot of us were indoctrinated with this idea of what the ideal college experience should look like. I would go onto Netflix and I would see movies that depicted college as having pool parties, you know, sitting on the grass, doing your homework, and just becoming best friends with your roommate. And so growing up, I was like, oh wow, this is awesome, right? This is what college is meant to be. However, I think younger me didn't really account for the fact that one, I would be a commuter student, so I wouldn't be on campus that much. Two is that I would have a part-time job. And three, and this is kind of the saddest thing, but basically all of my friends from high school ended up moving to other states and colleges. So I was kind of just left all alone by myself because I was going to my state school. And honestly, even though I might feel a little isolated by myself right now, I think this loneliness is something that a lot of college students face just because the experience is so much different from what we were used to in high school. Like, high school is so different, right? You not only have 7 periods, so you're interacting with 7 different groups of people, but you're also kind of forced to talk to those people, right? Because if the teacher's like, hey, you guys gotta talk to your classmates for this assignment, you don't really have a choice, right? You're kind of like, all right, well, I guess I have to do this, and you talk with your classmates, and that's that. But honestly, in kind of a weird way, I think this was actually really beneficial for us growing up, because as teenagers, right, it's really easy to just kind of get stuck in your own bubble and not really talk to anyone else. So when you have your teacher that's constantly forcing you to interact with other people through like group assignments or group projects, in a sense, this is really good because it makes it so that we're interacting with different groups of people, and it's really easy to make connections and friendships that way because we're meeting with people that we normally wouldn't otherwise. And honestly, although I think a lot of us might have hated it in the moment, being forced to talk to people that you don't really know or don't really like, I think that honestly, this is one of the things that high school did really well. Now, college is a totally different ball game, right? In college, you are essentially paying to be in class, so you don't have to go to class if you don't want to. You can just, you know, do whatever you want during that time, and no one's gonna get on your case for it. And I think another thing that makes it really lonely is that in college, you don't have to talk to anyone if you don't want to. And for me, I think this problem has definitely been exacerbated a little bit because my campus is essentially a commuter campus, so most people that go there don't really want to be there. So people kind of just come to the campus, and then the second class is over, they'll get in their car and they'll just leave campus immediately because there's all sorts of other things they would rather be doing. I would definitely say that I'm a more sociable person. Like, I like to be outgoing and meet new people and make new friends, but it is a little bit discouraging to know that most of the people on your campus don't really want to be there in the first place. And while I totally understand that, that does make it a little bit more lonely for the rest of us who are trying to make friends and meet new people and really get that quote-unquote like college social experience. And honestly, it's kind of weird that as we grow up, we just don't really talk to people as often, right? It's really easy to just get in your own bubble and not interact with other people because it's just so comfortable to stay indoors and do your own thing without having to worry about social interaction with other people. And this comfort zone as a whole that we're not really used to going out of is, I think, what's really inhibiting us from making social connections with each other, not just in college, but in life in general. I think another thing that makes college relationships really difficult is what I call quarter friends, which is essentially like you have quarters and semesters in college, right? So you might make a bunch of friends in one quarter, but the second you guys have new classes, right? You have new schedules that you have to take care of. It's really easy for people to drift apart very quickly and, you know, never really talk to anyone that they knew ever again. Like, I was able to make like 6 pretty decent friends in fall quarter, but the second winter quarter came around and we all had different schedules. We just kind of naturally drifted apart from each other. I think it's really sad because I really enjoyed being and talking with these other people, but just the way that college works, in difference from high school where you're constantly in the same class for the entire year, it's just really easy to become isolated and to drift apart from the people that you thought you were really close to, but naturally ended up just getting apart from. And honestly, while this may suck right now, I think this is just a natural part of life and is something that I'm learning about right now, and I think is just something that we learn more about as we grow older. So I guess at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is that if you are one of those people out there who are kind of like me and had these huge expectations for college and they weren't quite exactly what you were anticipating or expecting, then just know that you're not alone, that I'm kind of in the same boat as you are. Because it's very easy to look forward to something your entire life, have super high expectations of it, and for those expectations to kind of just fall flat on their face. And it is really disappointing, but again, like I said, this is just something that naturally occurs throughout life, and I think it's a really good lesson for me and all of us to eventually learn. But I want to assure everyone that there is still hope out there. I think just keep doing your best to go out there and talk to people and interact with people, even if it might be uncomfortable at first. And also clubs and, other outside organizations and even on-campus part-time jobs can be a really great way of meeting people on campus that I think most people don't often think about, since they're just focused on going to class and then going home straight afterwards. Anyways, I know that this video was kind of all over the place, but I think I just wanted to make this to vocalize that my experiences haven't really matched up to what I was expecting from this whole college experience. But right now, I'm still trying my best to stay hopeful and to stay positive and to make the most out of this experience, because even if these won't, like, quote unquote be the best years of my life, I think every period of our lives is kind of a stepping stone for learning in the next aspect of our lives. So everything that happens to me right now is honestly just something that I can learn and implement and take with me as I go out of college to jobs or other things in the future. So for all of you out there who might feel a little lonely in college and aren't really sure what's going on right now, just know that I'm here with you, and I promise you that we will both get through all of this together. But that's it for this video. If you honestly got anything out of it, I would appreciate a sub, but definitely no pressure on that. But anyways, that's all I have for you guys for this video, and I will see you in the next one.